Hi kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today I have like a little follow-up review of this knife. Now, you've seen the disassembly and the full review of this knife. If you haven't, just check out my YouTube channel and you can find it there. This is the Ruike P801 SF. And during the disassembly and the review, I put out my thoughts about it, disassembled it, and by and large, I kind of still stand by what I say. But a commenter commented by the name of Simon Vertigo. He said, why are the bearings on the P801 plastic and other steel? And to be honest, this is one of those days where I looked through my video and I realized I completely missed it. And I just want to rectify that a little bit. I just want to kind of correct that a little bit because, well, this is something I completely overlooked. So first things first, I'm going to take this knife apart and I'm going to do it in hyper speed. Alright, so as you can see here, these are the bearings. Now the bearings are stainless steel bearings, but the cage you see here is actually plastic. And here's the thing, if you look at other disassembly videos such as from Nick Bass and all that, these bearing cages are actually some form of metal. I think they're brass, yeah, or copper, but they're definitely a metal. I'm gonna call them brass, but they're definitely a yellow type of metal, and those are definitely not copper. Okay, so taking this part, you can see here, this here is completely plastic, and then but the bearings itself are still stainless steel. Now I completely missed this, so I just wanna acknowledge this a little bit. First things first, does it actually make a difference? Well, let's talk about the negatives. The negatives are that it makes the knife feel cheaper, as with if you had the nice copper ones, you had a nice like yellow finish over here, but in this case the bearings here are definitely more on the cheaper feeling side, and overall it makes the knife feel a little bit cheaper. Now, to my best knowledge and through Simon himself asking Ruike, it seems that the earlier versions of these knife comes with the copper bearing cages here. However, it looks like more and more people, as they keep ordering from the newer batches of Ruike P801s, they tend to keep getting these plastic ones. So I don't know if this is a money saving thing. Maybe they're trying to save up on the cost of the knife. I don't know, but overall it does make the knife feel a little bit cheaper. So let's just talk about if this really makes a difference or not. I've gone through other videos of this knife that I'm aware that they use the copper cages, and I've looked at other disassembly videos of the knife, and to be honest, when I put it together after I've cleaned it and I look at the other videos, it doesn't really look like it made that much of a difference, or I couldn't see any perceivable difference at all. And here's the reason. Just like in the copper bearings, just like in the copper cage bearings, the actual bearings itself, the metal stainless steel bearings, are actually proud of the cage, meaning that if you actually put this, if you look at this flat, the metal bits here are actually sticking out further than the plastic bits here, and it's exactly the same if it were the copper bearings. So once you tighten the pivot screws, right, once the pivot tightens, it's going to tighten onto the metal bearings itself and not the cage. So with that, no, it should not make any difference at all. Okay, there is a chance that the copper one might rust over time, but these plastic ones won't rust. But in terms of durability on an everyday use, in terms of what the pivots are actually squishing onto, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I don't know, let me know what you think. Please comment down below if you think this has an effect. To me, I really don't think it has any bad effect. I think it almost has no effect at all, especially on a knife this cheap, and especially on an everyday use that I put this knife through. You know, cutting cardboard, cellophane tape, paper, envelopes. We're not really doing anything hard use on this. Action still feels exactly the same. I guess the only negative is that it actually just feels cheaper, and it looks cheaper as well. But yeah, so I just wanted to correct myself. I'm really sorry I overlooked that, but I want to rectify it in this video. And thank you so much, and stay ready.